From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. A group of Troy University dancers spent 2 weeks in Italy learning from some of the top dance instructors in the world and showing off their talents on the international stage. Lauren Harkson gives us a look at their trip.
For 2 weeks in the month of June, the Department of Theater and Dance sent a group of 13 students and 2 faculty members to Pietrasanta, Italy for an international arts festival known as the DAP Festival. They took classes and learned choreography and technique from guest artists from all around the world.
We had artists from Norway, Sweden, Denmark, New York, Austin, Texas, obviously Italy, just all around the world. Different people came in and brought their pieces of choreographic work and their teaching ability.
In addition to performing dance pieces in the theater, the students had the opportunity to perform in very different artistic areas around the city.
They also got to perform in the streets and in the piazzas. One place they got to perform was the Knoll Peace Frame, which is a gigantic, beautifully sculpted door that's out in the middle of the street, and so they got to dance in and around that door frame, and crowds would gather to see our students perform.
During the festival, renowned choreographers held auditions for the students to have a chance at dancing in expert pieces.
Our Troy students were selected to perform in these professional pieces, 2 of which were world premieres. That's an honor, and not only that, the 2 choreographers, the most renowned choreographers of the festival, came to us personally and said, "Your students have excellent work ethic, great attitudes, they're wonderful dancers, so whatever you're doing at Troy, keep it up."
One of the directors of the festival, Sebastian Kloborg, designed a piece that helped dancers get out of their comfort zone and into a bit of a mess.
It was a lot of fun because in his piece we got to work with sculptures, and we also were covered in clay so that we kind of blended in with the sculptures, and it was just a lot of fun working with the clay and getting to learn from him because he just has so much knowledge and creativity.
In addition to dance, one Troy student learned something quite different.
I think I learned how to be patient with culture shock. I loved their culture and how passionate they were about art, not only dance, but, sculpting and painting and music.
Averett hopes to return to Italy with more students in the future. Lauren Harkson, Troy, TrojanVision News.
And when the dancers took their trip, they knew they'd be working with some premier talent from around the world. But they probably weren't expecting some of that talent to be a 3-time NBA champion and his Hollywood actress wife. Once again, here's Lauren Harkson.
Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance spent 2 weeks in Italy learning new dance techniques and performing in the theater and around Pietrasanta. But it was one impromptu show that may have been one of the highlights of the trip. While in Pietrasanta, the dancers met a few surprising faces.
Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
That's Gabrielle Union, and there's Dwayne Wade.
Vacation Crew Challenge.
Those 2 were on a European vacation, and they were on this Mediterranean cruise, and it was stormy.
How's this our dream vacation and it looks like this?
And so they couldn't take the boat out, so they were land-bound, and they had to go find their own fun, and they wandered into Pietrasanta, where we just happened to be that day. And they learned this choreography. They made a music video together.
It's showtime, 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 showtime. Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know. I bet they know as soon as we walk in. Showed up, I'm wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blue.
It was incredible, and they were so kind and warm, and we took all kinds of pictures. It was wonderful.
In addition to all of the fun in Pietrasanta, Averett explains how the Troy representation overseas from the dancers to the faculty truly moved her.
It was really inspiring for me to think, wow, here we are, Troy around the world. It was just really moving to think of everything that we're growing here at Troy University. I couldn't be more proud.
Football is traditionally played by men, but last Thursday night, the Trojan football team gave women the chance to learn how to play the sport. Sarah Drake shows us how.
The Troy University coaches held their annual Football 101 Women's Clinic on Thursday night at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Coach Neil Brown's wife, Brooke, talked about how Football 101 allows the women of Troy to get a behind-the-scenes look of Trojan football.
So Football 101 is a great event for the ladies of Troy to come out and have a girls' night out where they can enjoy food, fellowship, fun, and learn a little bit about football and see some things that are behind the scenes that normal folks wouldn't get to see.
Football 101 also allows the women to participate in on-the-field drills, such as the pass rush technique drill. Will you hold this for me?
We basically have an offensive and a defensive chalk talk. We've got a Southeastern Conference official coming, and he's going to talk about what the hand signals are, some things like that. We've got some on-field drills they're going to do, the same drills that our players do. And then they're going to do some, there's going to be a strength conditioning aspect to it as well. And then we're going to come back up and we're going to have a fashion show.
And while the night was filled with fun learning about the game of football, the money raised by these women will not be kept by the athletic department, but instead be donated to a local charity.
All the proceeds go to the Christian Love Center, and we wanted to make sure that we had a group that benefited the women of Troy.
And Brown also told me how the charity is chosen each year.
We wanted to make sure that it was something that the ladies that attended could get behind and feel passionate about. We usually try to pick either a women's charity or a children's charity.
Brown says her favorite part about Football 101 is seeing the women get excited about football season. Sarah Drake, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We're going to take a short break, but when we return, we'll find out how Troy residents can help welcome new students to campus. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
If you're ready to have an awesome time, I'm ready, so let's party for the night. If you're ready to have an awesome time, I'm ready, so let us party for the night. We've been hanging on for quite some time. It's gonna be a very long night, and I got everything, so now I feel right. If you're ready, then let us party for the night.
Hey, if you want to be a part of something vibrant, active, and exciting to do every day at Troy University, maybe you should be a part of Troy Trojan Vision News.
If you somehow haven't heard, Trojan Vision News is Troy University's student-produced, student-run daily television newscast.
Want to be on television? You can do that here.
Want to meet people and tell their stories? We've got that.
Want to be a part of a team that puts on a live, fast-paced television program 3 times a day? We have that too.
Already doing stuff with video and you want to learn more? We can help you out.
If you're a broadcast journalism student, you really need to be involved with Trojan Vision.
Like really need to be involved. Your future depends on it.
You don't even have to be a broadcast student. There's a pretty high cool factor in doing this stuff.
A lot of our predecessors even met their wives or husbands here, so the social possibilities are pretty extensive.
Not to mention Trojan Vision graduates work all over the country for places like CNN,
NBC News,
the Weather Channel,
and the NFL Network.
Anyway, speaking of famous graduates, we're graduating in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got jobs and internships to get to.
And somebody has to replace us at this news desk. Why not you?
Visit the studios on the first floor of Wallace Hall.
Track down this guy, Aaron Taylor, and he'll hook you up.
If you're interested in television news, and if you're a student enrolled on Troy University's Troy campus, you qualify to get involved at Troy Trojan Vision. See Aaron Taylor, Production Coordinator, 141 Lorraine B. Wallace Hall. Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Throughout the summer, incoming freshmen visit Troy during the Impact Orientation sessions to get an intensive 2-day education about their new college home. However, it isn't just meetings and tours. They have a little fun as well. Paige Week shows us how.
At Impact, students are required to plan and prepare for one of the biggest changes of their lives. The 2 days they're here can sometimes seem like an information overload. That's why during each session, the students and their Impact leaders take a break and escape to Camp Butter and Egg.
It is about getting your schedule, and you get to meet with your academic department, which is really important, but it's also about getting to know other students and current students here. So when you come to Troy, you already have those connections, so it's a really fun time to just like stop and relax.
Among activities such as zip lining, rock climbing, and paddle boating, students had the chance to put everything, literally, on the line.
Being at Butter and Egg, it was very relieving, and it took off a lot of stress because the tour was very long, but I enjoyed it. It helped me gain a lot of knowledge, and I met a lot of new people.
The biggest part of the evening comes when the different Impact color groups go head-to-head in a variety of competitions to see which team will win the ultimate trophy. For a college student, that is, a free t-shirt.
They always do a beach ball relay. They do tug of war, which is always the crowd favorite. They also do other little games, relay races like the over-under, things like that. And the winning team, they get the pride and recognition of winning, and they also get a free t-shirt, and they'll get their team picture on a poster that they'll get to take with them.
The time spent at Camp Butter and Egg isn't just about winning. It's a chance for the students to learn to rely on each other, and especially their Impact leaders, something that will help when it's time to schedule classes.
It leads into day 2 when they're going to sit with you and make your schedule. So when you're sitting with a leader and they've helped you like win the victory, get that t-shirt and all of that fun stuff, you really are going to trust them with making your schedule and just kind of hanging out.
And even though rain cut some of the activities short Wednesday, the newest batch of Troy University students learned what it's like to have a little fun, Trojan style. Paige Weeks, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
And Troy University's summer of freshman orientation came to a close this week. The last Impact session of the year began Wednesday morning. Anna Kate Patterson spoke with some of the leaders about how they feel the summer went and what they'll take away from the experience.
This morning began the first day of the last Impact session of 2017. Several veteran Troy University students have given up their summer to lead incoming freshmen in campus tours and registering for classes. A new group of leaders is selected each year, and Impact Director Jacob Grant explains how this year's batch is different than any other.
This batch, it's a different group than I've had before. They're a pretty diverse group, a lot of people from a lot of different walks here at Troy, so that aspect's great. They're really inquisitive. They ask a lot of questions, which isn't a bad thing. They're just trying to make sure that they do everything right, and I appreciate that aspect. But overall, I mean, I've really enjoyed working with them. They've been a great group.
Birdie Howell says this summer as an Impact leader has been rewarding, but has definitely had its challenges.
Just keeping your energy up. It definitely is a taxing job for sure. You get tired, you work long hours, you have to stay enthusiastic all throughout the day. And so just remembering to keep your energy up. And we've done this 9 sessions now, but these students coming in, it's their first session. So it's sometimes hard to remember. They don't know everything. They don't know where they're going. They don't know how the schedule's going to run.
Howell says one of the best parts of being an Impact leader is getting to share her love for Troy University with the incoming students.
It's an honor and it's a privilege to be an Impact leader. You get to meet all of the new freshmen coming in, and you get to have them become excited about Troy. You get to share your love that you have being a Troy student and get to turn it into, enthusiasm and energy for these students coming in.
Grant says students who want to be an Impact leader in the future need to be welcoming, outgoing, and have a passion for Troy University. Applications for next summer will go out in January of 2018. Anna Kate Patterson, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The fall semester for Troy University starts on August 16th. However, students will move into their dorms the weekend before. And there's an opportunity for the Troy community to help them make the move-in process a little smoother. Paige Weeks shows us how.
Soon, Troy University's parking lots won't look so bare. In just a few weeks, students from all around the world will be moving back to Troy, and for many students, back in the dorms. That's why Troy University's housing department is asking for volunteers to help the incoming on-campus residents settle back in.
These students will be beginning their brand new career here at Troy University, and we want to make it a great day for their family. While it's a little sad, especially for the parents, having those volunteers there to help carry all of these things into the dorm room is just going to take so much off of their mind so that they can set the room up and have it pretty before they leave their student here at Troy. And that's just a way that all of our employees, our students can get to know these new students and welcome them to Troy and start start them off on the right foot.
Volunteers don't have to be just Troy faculty and students. The invitation to help has been extended to all Troy residents.
Friends of Troy, we would love for anyone that would love to come and be a part of that day. Come, you can wear your Troy shirts or you can wear your organizational shirt to welcome these students to Troy.
Volunteers won't just be unloading trucks and moving boxes. They'll also be the very first faces that the students will get to see as they walk through the door.
We really do want to welcome the students to Troy and give information. A lot of times they just need to know where's a good place for us to go get a bite to eat. And of course, who would know better than someone from Troy to tell them all the little things that they might need to know. Where can I go and do this, that, and the other? You know, they want to know things about Troy. So our citizens from Troy will help answer those questions and help make them feel better.
Move-in day will be on August 12th, and volunteers are encouraged to stay and help as long as they're able to. Paige Weeks, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll see how some little ones are getting their shot in the spotlight. We'll find out how right after this.
So they say it's a man's world? Well, I don't see anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
All this week, Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance was introducing children to the world of the dramatic arts through their Summer Spotlight Creative Drama Camp. Brianna Jones has the story.
This week, Troy University's Department of Theater and Dance put together a camp shining a spotlight on creative drama.
We have students as old as 13 all the way as young as 4 and 5 that are getting to do stagecraft where they're building things, creative drama sessions where they're moving, playing games, and coming up with all sorts of ideas of their own, as well as rehearsing for a performance that we showcase on Friday, and this year's performance is Peter Pan.
The students are getting their first opportunity to see just how professional theater works.
It's like the one time kids around here really get a chance to do sort of professional theater. It's like they really are here to show off and just be them, and that's something that's so cool to see at a young age.
Sheila says, despite challenging situations, students are determined to not give up.
My favorite part about working with the kids this week is probably seeing them get to learn all of these new skills that they didn't even know that they had, especially when they might find it challenging at the beginning of the week. But after a couple of days or after they continue to try and put their best effort forward, that they really start to see some success and some progress, it's really rewarding.
And one of the students has advice for other children who are interested in joining the camp.
I would say you should definitely join it. But there's not a lot of main parts and stuff, so if you don't get the part, you just have to be the best you can be in the part that you do get so that you can really stand out on stage.
Brianna Jones, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Troy's Johnson Center for the Arts is going through a transition period as they set up their new exhibits this week. But one of the new artists featured at the center brought more than what the usual artist brings for exhibition. Nathaniel Rodriguez has the story.
Another artist has set up shop at the Johnson Center for the Arts and brought with her not one, not two, but 3 exhibits. The new artist is Troy graduate and Wetumpka native Hope Brannon, an artist that exhibitions coordinator Wiley White says is one of the most versatile that she has seen.
Every gallery is different. She's got one series called Fossils of Time, and that's what you'll see in this main gallery. In the Kirk Gallery, it's Waterscapes, and in the back gallery, it's called Alternate Endings.
According to Brannon's bio, the inspiration for her art comes from her upbringing along the Coosa River of Wetumpka and the city's Native American history.
But another thing she talks about is she calls it the crater. You know, there's a crater in Wetumpka where a meteor fell years ago. So a lot of that, the geological part, and most likely the Indian part as well, there's so much there to encourage an artist.
White says one work in particular is taken directly from a moment in Brannon's childhood.
Well, this triptych over here that looks like, she titles it Fireflies, Catching Fireflies. She tells a story of playing out when she was a child, catching fireflies like a lot of us did before the fireflies vanished. You can see her spirit in those 3 paintings.
Visitors to Brannon's exhibit will be able to take part in an interactive waterscapes project by taking one of these magnetic pieces, attaching it to the board behind me, and then posting a picture of it on social media. Nathaniel Rodriguez, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Well, it's time for our last break, but when we return, we'll learn about this year's summer send-offs for new students at Troy University. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
I was afraid of that.
Well, guess it's time to get you fixed.
Your pets will start fooling around sooner than you think.
Go on, get out of here!
Accidental litters lead to millions killed in shelters each year. Help prevent more. Fix at month 4.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Troy University's admissions office will start their summer send-off for new students next week. We'll learn more about the summer send-offs in this week's Trojan Talk. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll find out how new students for Troy University can get a chance to be welcomed into the Troy family in their hometowns and in those areas, courtesy of the admissions office and my guest today, Jane Carroll, admissions counselor with Troy University, to talk about summer send-offs. Some big parties going on here. Thanks for joining us here today to talk a little about it. So,
thank you so much for having me, Aaron. Summer send-offs are events that we're planning for students that, they're coming to Troy in the fall. We're so excited. We go to our largest recruiting areas or territories in Alabama and also in Florida, and these events are just to get them excited about coming to Troy. We have a video that we put on for them and also speakers that attend the events just to really get them pumped up about coming to school here.
And these basically parties are a way to kind of, they've been the impact that we know they're coming to Troy, but this is just one of those last little things to kind of just welcome them into the Troy family, right?
Yes. So it's just to get them excited about joining this wonderful campus and also joining the family. So we bring Barry McKnight as one of our speakers. He really gets them enthused about, choosing to be a Troy Trojan.
And this, in addition to just getting them involved and welcoming them here, it's kind of just a fun atmosphere for their family and friends as well. This is just a chance that they know about Troy but some of their family and friends can kind of tag along as well to get a little bit more information about the university, right?
Yes, so we encourage them to invite their family, other friends, like even if you're a rising senior or a junior, or if you have younger siblings, we would love for them to attend as well. So we also reach out to, the alumni in their area so they can hear from, alumni at Troy's. They can hear their experiences. So we reach out to the whole Trojan family and try and make it, a family event.
And now you talk about the big recruiting areas. Let's talk about some of the cities that this kind of send-off tour is going to go through here over the next month or so here. So
we're going from anywhere from Coleman to Birmingham, all the way down to Mobile. We'll be in the Dothan area, Enterprise as well, Auburn, Montgomery, of course, and then we'll also go to the Panhandle. So we'll be visiting Pensacola, Fort Walton, Panama City Beach. So it's going to be a really fun time. It's going to be stretched out over the next 2 weeks. We start on Monday. We're very excited to be traveling to these different areas.
And now, kind of give us, I guess, a rundown of the events for the people that are coming to one of these events, or if they're thinking about attending one of these events. Kind of give us an idea of maybe like what the schedule of events is going to be and what they can expect when they come to this.
So the schedule of events would be they're going to come in, be welcomed. We're going to have an introduction. A speaker will be speaking. There's going to be it's going to be a tapas menu. Some will be seated dinners, but most of the time it's going to be more finger foods. You're going to be able to play games. We'll have cornhole, big Jengas. We want it to be a fun atmosphere, more of like a party. So you mix and mingle with other students that are in your same shoes coming to Troy. Also hear from alumni chapters, different things. But the set schedule is really just to have fun and enjoy yourself in that area. You may not even know that other students, are coming from your area to Troy. So it's really just to get you excited.
Well, and that's something I was going to mention. The potential for meeting other students, Trojans in your area, especially since it's, you're probably casting a wide net to people in the surrounding areas. So someone like Dothan, you may have someone who's maybe from Ayrton and Dothan, or somewhere maybe even as far as like Marianna or something like that, coming into that area, and they're within an hour of each other, but didn't know that they were going to school there. So I would think it might open some potential connections with some students. And even a place like Montgomery, where there's different high schools, you may find someone that's going to Troy in your hometown that you've never met before, and it kind of maybe introduce you to a new friend.
Yes, definitely. We've even had students that are going down to the beach with their family for a week, so they've decided, hey, I'm not going to be in Birmingham where I'm from, but I'm also going to be in Panama City that week, so I'll attend that event. So that's really fun. It gives them a chance, to go on vacation, meet some friends from that area. It's really just to meet and mix and mingle with other students also.
And I think it's interesting that you've got the alums coming to these events as well, because that just opening up the doors for networking and the potential, and knowing there's someone in your hometown that was there, it just, I guess, just expands on that goal of making the Troy community and get wider out there in the community. So.
Yes, and that's something that we really want to encourage these alums to come, not only hear from them, but also it may be a networking opportunity, especially if they work for a business and they have internships in the summer. So you never know, the opportunities are endless for these students. We just want to, get them to know other people in the Trojan family.
Now, is there any pre-registration for these events? Is there anything they need to do to get prepared? If someone's watching this now and they're like, hey, I want to do this, what do they need? Is there anything they need to do?
Yes, of course. So they would have to RSVP at www.troy.edu/summer sendoffs. At the website, you're going to see tons of different events located on there. They can just click that event, register. This can be for alumni and for also current students that are coming in the fall, or students that are coming in the fall too. But they can register there, or they can just call the admissions office. I'd love to speak with them. Our number is 334-670-3188, and I can register for them for the event over the phone.
And of course, when they get to the website, if they're looking for one of the send-offs that's in their area, it's a good opportunity for them to know, if they're not in that city, somewhere close by, and if they're in between, they can make a choice between whichever one fits their schedule, I would assume, at that point as well. So, and all the dates, times, and locations are listed on the Summer Send-Off website there. So.
Yes, they're listed on our website.
All right, well, here's an opportunity for students to get a little party fun before they come to Troy and be welcomed in the Troy family. Thanks for joining us here today.
Yes, thank you so much, Aaron.
All right, and thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the third week of July 2017. To find out what's happening throughout the week, you can tune into Troy TrojanVision News at 5, 6:30, and 10:30 Monday through Friday, or anytime by following us on Twitter at Troy TV News. Also, feel free to like our Troy TrojanVision News fan page on Facebook to see links to online content from Troy TrojanVision News. You can join us again next week for another edition of Troy TrojanVision Weekly. Have a good week.